What is going on, people, and welcome back to Total War Spurs. And a lot has happened since the Newcastle game. For those of you that watched our review, things got a bit heated as we expected. But there has been a development, and we are a bit late here at Total War Spurs. Busy with work and Anzac Day here, so thought we'd give a little respite before we get into the next video. But Salini is gone. He's been sacked. Everyone, bar the attacking coach, has been given their marching papers, and Ryan Mason takes over for the rest of the season. Now, I don't understand why this wasn't done when Conte pretty much left. It was inevitable that we were going to play the same system because, like I say, Stellini is Conte 0.5. Nowhere near good enough to be 0.1, let alone 0.2 or 2.0. And it was inevitable. And I've sat back and watched and seen a lot of what everyone else is saying. And, a lot of people are saying, oh, look, Conte wasn't the one that was wrong. He was right. Levy's wrong. Enoch's wrong. Why do we keep Stellini here when, he's pretty much going to do what Conte does? Like, now we've sacked the assistant. We've sacked the manager's assistant, and now the assistant is taking over. And with the likelihood of Poch joining Chelsea, I think Tottenham have put all their eggs in one basket for Nagelsmann. And that could be a great thing, but it could also be a bad thing. Going on to the whole, whether we should have sacked Conte or not. For me, like I always say, I wanted Conte gone, not because I didn't think he was a good manager. I just think that the system and the club doesn't fit. Sometimes it works like that when managers don't fit the club. Levy wasn't going to give him the money that he needed to buy the players that he wanted. And even the players that he wanted, Levy would always try and find a cheaper option. So for me, I think it was the best thing for Conte to leave. Add that to all the turmoil he's had this year with close friends passing away, living in a hotel while his family lives in Italy. And he has I'm pretty sure he has a mid-teen daughter, so he's missing out on all her growing into an adult and all that sort of stuff. Yada yada yada. The gallbladder issues that he had, it was inevitable that Conte was going to leave, and I don't think even if he stayed that he would have survived past his contract. But I just don't understand why we didn't give it to Mason if that was the go-to. I personally believe that Levy and that thought they could sort out the managerial position before this happened. I honestly think they were going to have Stellini in there just in case, and then they were going to try and sort out a Poch deal or a Nagelsmann deal. Now, I do feel like if Nagelsmann did not become free, that Poch would have been already in. But now that I think we're putting all our eggs in one basket for Nagelsmann, and it can backfire. Nagelsmann might look at what happened at Newcastle. We might play like absolute shit for the rest of the season, and he might not think that this place is for him. And that's the thing with Tottenham. We seem to do that where we have one plan, and if that plan doesn't work, we go to plan Z. We don't have plan B or plan C. We go to plan Z. Look at Nuno, for instance. He was the 13th choice manager. We couldn't solidify the top, 12 managers, so we went for the 13th. We do it easy, as I kind of think we do it easy where it's easy to go, oh look, we got this person in because look how quick we got it done, or Nuno took a while, but blocks of Porro, like, oh, I dragged out, might not get him. I look how quick we got it finalised when Levy steps in, and I just think it's in turmoil. I hope Ryan Mason does okay, but all he's ever going to be is an interim manager if he doesn't start realising that all he is Tottenham's go-to when, everything, all else fails. And it's bad. We've had two managerial changes in 3 weeks. This can't be good for the players. I do think the players have down tools. I think the likes of Kane will be on his way. I do think that the players have just given up on this season. The last 2 or 3 games have really highlighted the players' thoughts about obviously the managers, but maybe even about the club. They're all getting paid a wage regardless. Look at the likes of like Sanchez, who's been on, Sanchez is on more money than Basuma. and we bought Basuma this year, and we bought Sanchez 4 or 5 years ago, and he's still on more money. Like I don't understand the way we do things, and I don't know, people. I want to hear your thoughts and your feelings about the whole dilemma behind this managerial farce, pretty much. I hope Mason does well, not because I want us to make a run for the top 4, because I do believe that miraculously, if we do make it, it's pointless. We're going to get absolutely embarrassed again next year, unless we get a manager in and we back that manager. Now, I am hearing that a lot of Levy out stuff is going on as well, and there may be a reactive measure by the club to try and put out those fires. But all I can say is, look, guys, we can't make any Levy out, protests. All we can do is kind of highlight it and promote it on our channel and on our socials. So please, if you want to make a change, I think I did say the other day in the watch along that I personally couldn't make protests. I do think that protests will help, but I also think that if someone doesn't want to do a protest, or if you don't want to protest yourself, please at least share other people's actions to try and change this club, because it doesn't matter if you believe in what they're doing, but if you know that they're trying to benefit the club in any way, shape or form, we need it. We're a shambles. We're the laughing stock of the Premier League. I'm quite worried about the actual destruction of the club, or what's going to happen if we don't get Nagelsmann in, or a manager that can get these players going, and Levy doesn't and tries to cash in on Kane. He won't cash in on Son because of the value of money that Son brings in terms of ticket sales and exposure in the Asian region. We could probably rebuild if we do sell Kane, but I don't think it's going to be a rebuild that will get us to winning things. We had Kane, Son, prime Alderweireld and fucking Jan, prime Walker Rose, prime Dele Alli, Ericsson, Dembele, and we still didn't win anything with those players in their peak. So it's going to take a miracle at this point, and I'm afraid that I probably won't see us win or challenge for the league again before I die. I know that sounds a bit drastic. I've got at least 50 years still to go, but the last 23 years we've only had one trophy, or 22 years of this hierarchy, we've only had one trophy. So I'm talking about league only, challenging or winning the league. I'm not talking about trophies, and I want to see us challenging for the top honours. And I do want to give a big shout out to the players. They refunded everyone's ticket that went to the Newcastle game out of their own pocket, and that's the least we could do. But why isn't the club doing that? Why isn't the managers helping out? Why isn't Levy putting his hand in his pocket? And if not, why aren't they refunding all the travel that these fans had to make to get up to Newcastle? The 5-hour train ride or drive or whatever. I don't know the travel times really. I'm not too fond of it. But also the people that paid for accommodation to stay overnight to watch that shit. Like, it shouldn't just be the ticket sales, because the ticket sales aren't going to cover the cost of travel, food, and accommodation. It's not. And I think it was a countermeasure to try and stop the fires, as I said earlier, to try and put out the fires before they started. And I don't think it did it that well, because I'm still seeing a lot of stuff going on, and rightly so. I just want to see the end of the season. We have 6 games. We have United on Friday, Liverpool on Monday. Then we have Crystal Palace, Aston Villa. I'm pretty sure it's Brentford, and then Leeds. And I can't see us winning any games at the moment. Even Leeds, I don't think we can win that with the way we're playing, with the way the players are just down tools. And I'm just hoping that we just go out and just play. And I do want to mention again that Papa Matasar, please, if any of you are out there, tweeting or anything, don't tweet about him. If you're going to tweet about him, or chuck on Instagram, please build this guy up, because he's a young 20-year-old. The world was put on his shoulders at Newcastle, and I'm not saying he had a good game, but he wasn't to blame for all those goals. Our defenders were shit. You look at a World Cup winner like Romero defending the way he did. Dyer does nothing, and he's been his main position has been defender for years. Lenglet's played in a team of Barcelona. Porro just like absolutely doing nothing in defence. And the likes of Højbjerg and even Skip's a bit more mature. Skip's played a lot more than Sarr has, and they didn't help him out. So please make sure you bigging up Sarr, build him up, because he is one for the future. And I feel like he could, if he gets game time and develops and gets a bit stronger, gets a bit more confident, he can be a good little player in that midfield, just like Skip has started to show his worth. So. But this is just a little video that we wanted to put out just to fill in the space. Not much going on this week. There won't be any live watch-alongs, but there will be a match review tomorrow night. So that'll be just before the game against United on Friday morning here for us. So make sure you're catching that preview tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon if you're in Australia, or tomorrow morning for you guys in the UK. Won't be doing a live watch along, as we have said. Our next live watch along will be the Liverpool game. Fun, going to probably get hammered at Anfield, but this is what we do for the team that we love. And make sure you're putting pressure on the club, guys, because this is what we need to do as a fan base to really make change. And it doesn't matter if you Levy in, Levy out. It doesn't matter if you're Poch in, Poch out. At the end of the day, something has to change. And I think even if we push all fronts for, if you're blaming the players, if you're blaming the coaching staff, the owners, the chairman, whichever, we all need to just push our points but support each other, because this is the only way we're going to make change at this club, is if we actually support each other. And you don't have to like someone's way of doing it, but just accept it. And and that goes for the people that also push Levy out. Like, people want it. I look at it now like religion. People that are religious, not all people, but some people that are religious are very, very good at pressuring other people to follow their beliefs. And at the end of the day, for me, the best religious person that I can think of is going to encourage me more to support them and their beliefs is just someone that can accept that I don't see the values and the views that they do, but I can acknowledge that that's what they believe in, and then in turn they can acknowledge that may not be what I believe in, but they can accept that and be humble and calm. So I know it's a bit drastic doing like a Levy out comparison to religion, but that's how I see it. And if you're an avid Levy out fan, like EV out person, then please, just because other people don't do what you would want to do, doesn't mean that they don't support you. Just come off non-aggressive, and let's just band together as a club, or as a fan base, I should say, because the club don't really give a shit about us at the moment, and the players don't really. So make sure you're smashing a like and subscribing. Get down in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling about the whole Stellini situation, the whole Ryan Mason situation. Who you think will be the next manager, whether we're going to try and steal Poch off Chelsea to try and salvage the fan base, or if we're going to go for Nagelsmann and risk it all. And let me know if you if you think we're going to do well next season, because at the moment it's I can't even see a future next season. I think we're going to be top, like mid-table next season the way we're going. So stay safe, take it easy, and as we always say here at Total Spurs, stay Spursy.